We did it. Today I am back with a story time because clearly that's what you guys want. That's what the people want. So nobody asked for this actually, but I just noticed that that's what gets engagement is story times because you guys love the mess and you guys love the drama. Mind you, I stand by what I said. This is not going to become just a story time channel. Cut to 5 years from now, it's just a story time channel. I mean it when I said I don't have enough stories for that. This is going to be a story time about how my cousin abandoned me in the club. So, all right, let's rewind. I'm going to give my cousin a fake name. Let's go ahead and call her Birdie. Let's call her Birdie for obvious reasons. Bitch is a bird. So she lived in Georgia and she had moved up to Washington. My grandpa ended up passing away from cancer when I was like 3. And so he had a cabin that he had purchased that was like the summer home for his kids. And he wrote it in his will to pass down to my mom and her 2 brothers. And then it's supposed to like go to me and my cousins. Okay. So anyways, I had just stayed at that cabin with some friends for like a couple of months because I had just moved up to Washington. I think it was probably like 4 or 5 months or something like that. I really don't remember. So she ended up being like, oh, cool, I'm gonna come up there and live there. So basically, this is all alleged, by the way, and my opinion. But basically, she had come up to live there in Washington and she had started to like clean out the house, which I didn't innately have an issue with. I felt like it was necessary. When I stayed there, my instructions from my mom was to just like keep everything clean and like tidy, but like not to really like touch like what was, I mean, obviously like live in the house, there's furniture in the house and whatnot, but like the antiques and just like be mindful of like the tables are old, the bookshelves are old, the books are old, like just be mindful of what's there. Don't really like make any drastic changes, but make sure you like keep everything neat and tidy. Simple enough. And also, I'm not Bob the Builder. I am not going to renovate that house. I am not about to go clean out an entire haunted cabin, which actually is another story time. So maybe I do have a couple of story times. That place is haunted as. Anyways, she's like cleaning out and I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, okay? Because I actually would really love to be close to someone in my family, especially at my own, like who's my own age, because I only have a handful of cousins, if that. I think I have literally like 3 cousins who are around my age. And so I'm like, cool, like maybe we can become friends, like whatever. Because I've literally only met her like once before. I think she came up to Washington to visit my family when we were like 8 years old. So like it's been a while since I've seen her. I don't really know her that well, but she's family. She's family. So she's like cleaning out the house and my mom's complaining about it. As we can all see, I am no contact with my mother. So like at the time, I didn't put a lot of weight to what she was saying because yes, I am aware my mom can be over-exaggerative. She can tend to victimize herself a little bit, just to put it bluntly. And my mom was kind of wigging out and I'm like, whatever. And I like go over there and visit her a couple of times. I think she had like paddle boards and stuff. So like she had let me and the boyfriend at the time like use the paddle boards and like we brought them back. And I think, I was using it with my ex and his brother. And I think his drunk ass brother like lost one of the paddles. So I ended up like sending her money to replace the paddle. There was no issue with that. I was happy to do so because obviously if something is my fault, I'm happy to fix it. So yeah, we had interactions, and also again, my memory is a little bit spotty of like of certain time periods, but what I do remember, I remember very well. Keep that in mind for later in this fucking story. But yeah, so like we didn't have any issues really. She had like mentioned a couple of times about like my mom kind of like nagging her and stuff, and like she wasn't like just like blatantly talking shit by any means, but we are family, so it didn't feel that like abrasive to me because it's not like, you know, if I don't know you, yeah, I might not get along with my mom or someone in my family, but if you just come out the gate just like saying a bunch of like heinous shit, I'm gonna be like, the fuck? I mean, you could possibly be right, but it's also just like a character trait thing where it's like we're building rapport with one another, yet, but if you're gonna do that to someone that you know, then you're probably gonna do that to me type shit. So, but again, this is family, so I'm not exactly thinking like that, but I'm definitely kind of just like, not too much. But like she wasn't doing too much. So I was like, no, I understand. And so I was kind of confiding in her a little bit about my own issues with that, not in depth, okay, because I'm not, you know, just like loose-lipped like that, but just kind of a little bit sharing in the annoyances, like, yes, that does happen. Like, yes, I understand what you're saying because I did and I do. So you can be related to someone, still have love for them, and be able to like see both sides of the situation, especially when we're all family. Anyways, so right, whatever. So I'm living with my best friend at the time. I'm 21. She's 6 months younger than me, so she's 20. So I just turned 21 and I had no one to go out drinking with. And me and her were like allegedly getting drunk every day in the apartment. Not every day, but quite frequently. You're 20 and 21. What do you think we're doing? And so like we're turning up at the apartment or whatever. And I'm like, man, I really do want to go experience bars though. And like me and her are like this. So it's like I didn't have a bunch. I had like acquaintances, but I had not started, or no, yeah, I had started the music scene, but like I was very new. So I hadn't developed a bunch of the friendships that I have now. So like I just didn't really have people to go out with. So I'm going to open mics, okay? Because I started going to open mics after I got out of the relationship with my horrible ex. And I'm starting to meet people. I'm like feeling hyped up by my community. Like I'm having a lot of fun. We're going to this cafe that's local to us and like getting turned up, and like my best friend can come there because it's like a bar and a restaurant. So like we're all just having a good time. And then my best friend is like getting back in contact with some friends that we had known from high school. It was more of her friends, but I knew them and I was like acquainted with them. We had classes together. Like we all knew each other. We went to high school together, right? And so these two don't really need names, but it was a pair of siblings. I think one of you guys might still follow me. And if you're seeing this, literally no hate, like all vibes. Yeah. So anyways, so like we're like she's hanging out with them more. And so like, we're kind of like trying to invite them over. I think we had them over once, like maybe, I think my best friend might've had, the sister over once when I wasn't there. And then like my best friend was going over to her house and like visiting her and hanging out. And she basically was like, hey, we should all like get together. Maybe we could all meet up at open mics and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, that would be dope. So they come to open mics, but they have their other friends that were from, I don't know if they all went to my high school, but I know that at least one of them did. I'm so mean. I can only think of really mean names. We're gonna name him Twinkie. We're gonna name him Twinkie. That's completely unrelated to the story, honestly. We're gonna name him Twinkie, and the girl, Snow. We're gonna name her Snow. Twinkie and Snow. So basically, they bring their friends, Twinkie and Snow. I feel like there was another person there, like at the open mics, like there was maybe like a couple of other stragglers. No hate, again, that's not meant to be like in a rude way. What I remember, I remember very well. Other things, I don't remember at all, and I will admit that. So I feel like there was just a group of people coming, right? And so like, my best friend's friend had brought all of those people, so her friends and her brother, to come, and we were kind of like talking, and I remember, and Twinkie was like, oh yeah, I went to the same high school as you, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't remember. And I was very to myself in that high school. I didn't make a lot of friends. I wasn't in a lot of different groups, so it's like not that abnormal that I wouldn't have known them. And so we're just talking and stuff, and like they seem really cool, super chill. When I go up to perform, they're all being super supportive, like, and sweet and stuff. And so like we're just all talking, having a good ass time. We're drinking together, which again, I've been drinking with my best friend at home, but like I can't really like turn up outside with her like that. So I'm just like having a good time with them. And I think then even later, my best friend ends up needing to go back to visit her family in Oregon. And so like we had just gotten our apartment and we had just done an open mic and her friends were there. And I think I had like even invited people back to our place. Like, yeah, we can do like a casual kickback or whatever. So like they come over, we're all having a chill ass time. We're drinking, good vibes. We got music. My puppies were there. Like we were all having like a good time. Nothing weird happened. Okay. So, and I know you're probably thinking, what the fuck does this have to do with your cousin? Just wait. So basically, I'm like, you know what? I really want to go out to a bar. Like, I want to get lit. I don't know. I probably was like annoyed with my ex or some shit. I don't know. And so I was like, I want to go out and have a good time. And so I was like planning. I can't remember if like I asked my cousin if she wanted to go out or if she asked me, or like I'm sure we were both like, oh, we should go out sometime. And then we just kind of, made it happen. So I think there was a group chat, and my cousin had like 3 or 4 girls in this group chat that were going to go out with us. They all ended up flaking except for one. And so I was like, oh, can I bring my best friend, these friends that I made through my best friend? And I made it very clear. I was like, I don't know them very well. And she had told me, my cousin was like, oh, it's okay. The girl that's coming, even though we were in a group chat, like I also had just met her, like I didn't know her very well. And the reason why I said that is because I was like, hey, I still don't know these people very well. And obviously, like when you're going out to drink, like this is a lesson I've learned. I've never done this again, ever. I refuse to go out and drink with people that I like only know like haphazardly or whatever. Like I might go out with acquaintances for sure, but like my man needs to be there. My best friend needs to be there. Like someone that I know has my fucking back needs to be there. And it's literally because this is the instance that taught me that lesson. So, but I'm a transparent and real and honest bitch. So I told my cousin, I was like, hey, I don't really know these people that well. Like they've seemed cool. I've met them on like 2 or 3 occasions we've hung out. But like, yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, same for me. Like, I don't really know this girl, whatever. So be like, go. So one thing about me is I was broke. So I was going to pregame, and the pregame was going to be like 7 shots because I had no control. And like, I grew up super sheltered. I didn't do any, I was going to say I didn't do any drugs. And then I accidentally was going to be like, I didn't do any weed. Anyways, I probably smoked like once or twice, maybe. No, yeah, literally like once during high school, and maybe took like an edible, and then like had literally like 1 sip of bourbon, and then like pretended I was drunk for 2 days. But I was super sheltered in high school. I really didn't do shit like that. And so by the time I was 18, I just kind of went like balls to the wall. And so from 18 to 21, I was getting turned the fuck up, okay? And so I was having like, to pregame, I was having like 6 to 7 shots, which is just so much, like way too much. And I will say that I'm really good. This is the issue, is I'm really, really good at making it seem like I'm not drunk. However, the people around me, close to me, like my man can tell as soon as I'm drunk. People who really know me can tell when I am, but like if you don't know me, like I hold my liquor very well. So I can be 10 shots in, I can be having a conversation with you. And if you've had a couple of shots, especially like if you're dead sober, then yeah, you might kind of like be able to notice. But if we've both been drinking, I could have 10 shots, you could have 3, but you still wouldn't be able to tell that I'm 10 in. You would think that I'm still the 3 that you're at, because I'm able to hold a conversation. I'm not slurring my words. I'm not stumbling, like none of that. So, and then also contextually at this time, I had just told my story about how psychedelics literally sent me into psychosis. So I was struggling with hallucinations at the time. I didn't know what was going on with me. I was in a very poor mental state. And so basically I had these shots and I started seeing things. And so I'm seeing things and I'm like, already, this is kind of like a new development. It had started within that year that had happened, and probably within like the last 3 or 4 months of me experiencing this story time. So I'm like, experiencing hallucinations is pretty fresh. So it's still freaking me out a lot, but I'm like, okay, well, I need to like stay chill so I don't get 5150'd up in this bitch. So like, I gotta maintain composure. And I'm pretty good at doing that. I've been around a lot of crazy shit. I've been around people with mental issues like my entire life. And so I'm pretty good at like remaining calm and just kind of being like, okay, I know what's happening to me. Like I'm able to like be very self-aware and perceive this, but like doesn't change the body feeling, the fear, the anxiety, right? So I'm like drinking, start hallucinating. I'm like, oopsies. So I'm drunk as hell. I'm hallucinating, and then I believe I Uber, because I don't think my cousin picked me up from my place. She might have. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I Ubered to the bar to meet everyone. And so I go to this bar, again, 6 or 7 shots deep. I am already drunk. So I get to this bar, and I meet my friends, Twinkie and Snow, and then I meet up with my cousin and her friend. Her friend doesn't really need a name. So we're meeting up and we're just kind of like casually talking. We're talking about the beach, which is like the property, because it's a beach house. So like we're talking about the beach and we're like, just kind of, I think her dad had gotten in an argument with my mom. Mind you, my mom does not get along with her brothers at all, and for very good reason. They're bitches. She's very hard to deal with as well, so clearly genetics was not in their favor on that side of the family. So like, but my uncles have done heinous things, especially one of my uncles, which is a whole other story time. Actually, I have a lot of, maybe I have more story times than I thought. God damn. But like, yeah, so anyways, we're talking about the beach. I think my mom and her dad had gone to an argument or whatever, and I was like, honestly, I really don't give a shit. But basically, like, she had said something that I guess, like, she had gotten this perception from her dad, and I don't remember what it was, but it's like I said, that side of the family argued all of the time, and my mom also likes to blow things out of proportion, but I was there when something happened, and so she was trying to say this, like, misconception that, like, her dad had told her, which I'm not saying he was lying, like, maybe he genuinely got that information and he thought it was true. I don't know what the fuck happened, but, like, can get misconstrued when we're playing a game of telephone. So I was like, I don't think that's what happened. And again, I am aware that my mom is kind of crazy. I'm like aware of that fact and I'm sympathizing with her. So it's not like I'm being like, don't you dare talk about my mom like that. Like, I'm not being like that because I get it. But also I do get that your dad's a bitch. And that's been proven. So, and so is his brother. And so basically just kind of being like, no, I don't think that I don't think that's what happened. And she kind of was like, oh, okay. Like, she was being receptive. She wasn't arguing with me because, you know, stupid little bitches love to be all in your face and friendly because they are non-confrontational as fuck until they're behind a phone or somewhere else. Anyways, so she's like being complacent and being like, oh, okay, like, oh, I can understand that. I totally get that. Like, no, that's not what I meant. Nah, 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 nah. Shut the fuck up. So like, we order one drink. I just have one drink at this bar and we're just like sitting outside and we're kind of talking. And I can remember thinking like, okay, I feel like you're getting a little bit heavy-handed. So clearly like I'm assuming had pre-gamed herself, or she's a fucking lightweight, which is entirely possible. Or she was using it as an excuse to talk the shit that she really wanted to, which is more possible because like I said, she's a fake little bitch that can't stand on anything that she says. So basically, her friend and I are talking. I think my friends were running late or something. They finally show up. I think they get their drinks, whatever. Anyways, it's time to go. We're like, okay, we're ready to go to this like actual club that's like down the street. And so my friends are like, oh, hold on, we need to go to the bathroom really quick. But they were acting like weird about it. But I was like, okay, like I just didn't think anything of it, and especially because it's like, once again, I'm sheltered, so it's not like I'm around certain things, so I'm not really able to pick up on signs of like, oh, interesting that you're acting this way. Like, now I've been around and I've seen some shit, so I feel like I immediately would have been like, yo. But they were just acting shifty and weird, like, and they were like whispering to each other, and they're like, no, like arguing with each other about something, and I was like, okay, whatever. They go to the bathroom, and we get in the car, and I'm pretty sure they were taking a long time to come out of the bathroom. And I think low-key we were waiting in the car for a point in time where my cousin was like, yo, I'm about to leave them. And I was like, honestly, you're valid for that. I will text them and let them know, and like we can wait a couple of minutes, but like we can always like get our own Uber essentially and like meet you guys there. Like, it's not that deep. And I probably was like, hey, let's like try not to leave them, but at the same time, like, I get it. And so I'm like texting them like, what the are you guys doing? And so they come out and they're like, oh, sorry about that, like line was long, blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, weird. So I'm like sitting in the back in the middle between them, and my cousin and the girl she met, her friend or whatever, is in the front. And so I'm sitting there and I'm drunk as shit, I'm hallucinating, I like don't know what the fuck is going on, and this Twinkie and Snow are arguing across from me about something, and I'm like not like fucking processing what's going on on my soul. I promise you that I genuinely did not know, like I wasn't processing. I was hallucinating. I was really trying hard to like focus, but then finally like they started to like get like less like whispery and more like, you think you're whispering, bitch, you're not, you're in a fucking car. So like I'm like the fuck, and so they pull this bag out, and I'm like, no fucking way. No fucking way. And they're like literally fiends. Snow is being a fiend and is like, let me just see it. Let me see it. Let me just test it really quick. Like, you didn't even test it. Like, you didn't even test it. What do you think that bag was? That bag was the snow. That bag was a bag of the Coca-Cola, in which I smoked weed at this point. I was a stoner. I was a heavy stoner, but I had never in my life, I was like, oh my God. So I'm panicking because I'm like, bro, we're in my cousin's car right now. This is so disrespectful. So I'm like, basically, I'm just scared because I'm like, I don't even know what to do at this point. Now I would have been like, yo, you guys need to get the fuck out of this car. But like I said, it was extremely drunk and hallucinating. So I was like, what the fuck is happening? Also, we were like literally, by the time I realized this was happening, we were also literally about to pull up to the car. So I was like, I'm just going to get out and I'm going to try and ditch these people in the club and just have a good time and kind of like try and steer more towards my cousin. And I was feeling paranoid already because I'm already struggling with what I'm experiencing. And I'm already trying to just like process and like be a normal human being. And then on top of that, I'm insanely drunk. So I'm like, okay. So we're already like kind of like pulling in by the time I realized that they have this bag. And I'm like, fuck, I felt like I couldn't say anything in front of them because I felt like that could have started some sort of an altercation. I just felt like it wasn't the smartest thing to do, to be like, the snow has snow and Twinkie over here is arguing about the quality of it. And they're like, I just felt so, this had never happened to me before at all. So I was like, okay, we're literally about to pull into the parking lot. So let me just like go in with my cousin and her friend and just kind of like distance from them. And then basically tell my cousin what's going on and be like, hey, I think we should ditch them. And like, I don't mean ditch them without word. I would have probably been like, hey, we need to leave and you guys need to get your own Uber. And like, that would have been that. And then, yeah, because at that, like, that's just not cool, dude. That's just not cool. And like, I didn't sign up for that. My cousin didn't sign up for that. So mind you, I'm still like, my mindset this whole time is like, wow, this is disrespectful. And like, I want to make sure that I'm literally whole time planning on talking to my cousin. Whole time planning like about this because I can tell in the front that they've also caught on that something the fuck weird is going on. I couldn't tell if like they knew what was going on because again, I was processing slow. So I was like, oh my God. And I just felt awful because I'm like, of course, the random people that I meet through my best friend are going to be fiends. Like, what the fuck? Of course, they're going to be crackheads. So, like, I'm just like, I can't believe this is real, honestly. But yeah, so, like, we park and we're getting out of the car. And as we're getting out of the car, I always make sure I have my ID because I, like, always double, triple check everything. And so we're getting out of the car. And I think my cousin and her friend just like walk in ahead of us. But like, I can tell that they can tell something is weird. But I'm also like, well, I need to talk to them. But as I'm getting out of the car, the people in the back were like, don't say anything. Like, don't say anything. Just be chill. Like, just don't say anything. Like, everything's gonna be fine. And I was like, no, this is really up and I need to go talk to my cousin. I'm like talking to them and then we're like walking in and I'm trying to walk towards my cousin and her friend. But as I go up to get through the door, I realize I don't have my ID. As we're going up to the door, I'm like, fuck, where the fuck is my ID? And now all I'm worried about is where the fuck is my ID? I'm going to deal with you fucking fiends later and I'll go talk to my cousin as soon as I get into the club, but I'm not going to be able to get in the club anyways. And then also where the fuck is my ID? And so I tried turning back and Snow's like, no, I got this. And I was like, no, bitch, I want my ID. So she's grabbing me by the arm, mind you, again, drunk, hallucinating, very like not impressionable, but like malleable. I don't know what the right word is right now, but like I don't have two legs to stand on right now. I'm very feeling it. And that would have been fine. Honestly, I would have been fine if I was around decent human beings I could have trusted. But why would I think that? Why would that happen to me? So she literally like finesses security and gets us through. She's like, oh, like checking. She's like having them check and she's like, and she's like talking to all of them. And then she like drops something and they're like, hey, your friend needs to get checked. And she was like, no, she's just coming to check on me. Like she just like swindles it and I get in. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, no, I need my ID. So they keep on being like, no, it's okay. You need to calm down. Everything's going to be fine. They're talking to me like I am the weird one. And I'm like, you guys just brought a bag of what? So I'm like, no. I'm like low-key freaking out. I'm texting my other cousin that works at that club as well. So I'm like, hey, like, are you working right now? I'm like literally trying to be like, hey, I'm literally trying to find someone. I don't know if I had texted my other cousin, if I was like, hey, where are you? Or like, hey, I lost my ID. I don't think I did. But like I texted the cousin that was working there because I just felt unsafe in that moment. And I knew that like if she's working there, so maybe like she can like get security to basically be like, hey, these girls need to leave. And so I'm like literally like texting my cousin. And so I'm like, no, I need my ID. I need my ID. I need my ID. And so, so Twinkie and Snow grab me by my arms and they're like, we'll get your ID. We'll get your ID. Don't worry about it. Like, why are you stressing? Like, oh, you're so drunk. Like, everything's okay. You need to go to the bathroom. Like, you need to go to the bathroom. And I was like, I don't need to go to the bathroom. I need my fucking ID. How many times do I need to say that, bitch? Like, oh my God. So like we're going into the bathrooms. And one thing about me is I know other bitches are okay with pissing in the same stall. I am not. Never been that bitch or will be that bitch. I don't even like being in the same bathroom as my man, as my best friend, as my sister. No, I'm just not like that. I'm very like rigid. I'm very square. I'm very like personal space at all times. I don't like bodily fluids. I don't like people seeing mine and I don't like seeing theirs. Like I'm just kind of, bleh, okay? It's gross to me. It's gross. So we go in and they're like getting in the stall and they're like, come on. I'm like, I don't have to pee. I'll wait. Like, I can wait. It's okay. They're like, no, come on. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And so literally they both grab me by the arm and I'm not kidding you guys. I'm literally in the bathroom like, no, I'm okay. Because you don't understand how I'm already uncomfortable. Like, what the f, you guys? And I'm trying to get on my phone and they're like, no, it's okay. It's okay. They haven't taken my phone yet. But they're like, no, it's okay. And they're like literally like grabbing on me and being like, no, it's fine. Like, you just need to go to the bathroom. Like, come on. Like, just being insane about it. And I'm like, what the shit? So I go into the big stall with them. Sorry, they drag me into the big stall with them. And they are in fact not pissing. They are doing lines. So I'm like, what the fuck? They got the dollar bill. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
I'm in danger.
So I'm like sitting there on my phone and they're like, yo, put your phone down. And they're like, all of that, like, hey, it's okay. Like, you just need to go to the bathroom. Blah, blah, blah. No, none of that. It was, you need to put your phone down. I was like, no, I'm just going to leave the stall. So they're like, no. So they grab my phone. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. At this point, I'm, again, drunk and hallucinating. I don't know if my cousin has texted back. I'm like, really just trying to like leave this situation. And I know you might be thinking like, well, you could have just walked away. I'm telling you right now, I tried like 3 or 4 times and I was so inebriated that like I can't, like, and also it's 2 girls. Anyways, and so it's like, it was not as easy as it may have sounded to some. Like being in the moment, it's just way different. When you're inebriated, it's way harder to take care of yourself, which is exactly why you need to make sure that you're only getting inebriated around people that you trust and never getting too inebriated. Getting sloppy drunk is not the thing that I like to do anymore. So that's happening. And essentially they're like they break up, they line it up and they're doing it. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I'm just like trying to placate because I seriously feel like if I try to stand up for myself or I try to make a scene, like it's going to cause issues for me, essentially. Like it's going to go bad for me. I just had this feeling where like it's a fawn response. I was like, the safest thing I can do right now is just kind of placate. And then as soon as I can get away from them, get the fuck away from them. And that's what I had been trying to do since I realized what was going on in the car. But my cousin was absolutely no help. She pretty much ditched me with her friend as soon as we got inside. And then my cousin who was working there obviously is working, so she can't just like be on her phone. So mind you, the whole reason why I told my cousin before this, I don't know these people very well. And then she's like, I don't know this person very well, is because I thought that maybe her and I could stick together and make sure that these people weren't weirdos. So anyways, I guess not, because there's a bird. So essentially I'm in the bathroom and they got the dollar bills and I'm thinking that I can wait until they're done. I'm in the corner of the stall because that's where they've essentially put me. Phone's gone. And they're like, here, why don't you try it? And I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you so much. thank you so much. I'm good. And they're like, no, come on. And they're like, they basically were like, well, you're not going to tell anyone about this, right? Like, you said that you have a cousin who works here, because I had been talking to them all earlier, like, oh yeah, we can go to this club. My other cousin works there. So they're like, you know someone? I was like, yeah, like, yeah, it's totally fine. And I'm just like, I just want to leave the bathroom. And eventually we're like, why don't you try some? Like, just try some. And I was like, no, I'm really okay. Like, finally, I was like, I'm actually like, I don't know. I'm like kind of uncomfortable. Like, I'd rather just like leave the stall. Like, I don't usually just like sit and wait or whatever. And so they like put it in, again, I don't know how to explain this. I know from the story, it sounds like, no, you just did coke. But like, I swear to God, I was super inebriated and it was not what I wanted. And I had said no multiple times and I felt unsafe. And so like they had like put the roll up to my nose, and I literally was going, I remember being against the stall and literally going like this and being like, no, I'm good. And they were literally like holding me, and they were like just being like, it's totally fine. Like, it's fine. Like, everything's gonna be fine. Like, you're tweaking out and like it'll balance it out and you'll be able to drink more and like whatever. And so they literally put it in my nostril and they're like, come on. And so I'm like literally I'm like in the back and they're like, come on. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm literally okay. And again, it's two girls in this stall. And also I can tell that something weird is happening. I'm pretty sure what's happening is that my cousin and her friend come into the bathroom, or they had come into the bathroom at some point and had left. And so this is happening. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And so they put it in my nose and I go, and then they were like, come on, that wasn't a real one. Like, come on, that wasn't a real one. And I was like, no, like, obviously I didn't, but I was trying to get them the fuck away from me, yo. And so they were like, come on, just one more. And I'm like, okay, well, I can fake sniff one more time. This bitch plugs my nose. Twinkie plugs my nose. As soon as I fake sniff, yeah. I know there's going to be people, I was going to say so many people, it's not like so many people watch my videos, but I'm sure there's going to be people commenting like, bitch, I know you're lying. My whole face goes numb. And I'm like immediately crying, sobbing, like immediately just sobbing. I'm like, I need to find my ID. So I just immediately go back to that and I'm like, I need to find my ID. So like I'm saying that over and over again and they're like, hey, are you okay? Acting as if they're concerned. They're like, how do you feel? Like, are you good? And I was like, I need to find my ID. Because I'm like, at this point, I need to get out of this club. Like, I need to get away from these people. My cousin's not responding. I don't know where my other cousin with her friend disappeared in the club too. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm hallucinating. I'm drunk. I just did a line. Like, I need to go home. So I'm like, grab my phone back. I'm like, they're like, okay, if you need to get your ID, it's okay, we'll go with you. They're literally not leaving my side. And I feel like it's because they know that this whole time I have been trying to get someone to pay attention to the fact that I do not want to be in this situation. I need help maneuvering out of it. And I felt like they knew if I found my cousin that took us, if I found the cousin that worked there, if I was able to talk to a security guard, I would have snitched. And so basically, like, we're walking back outside and I'm trying to find my ID around the car. So they're like helping me look and I'm sobbing. I'm like, I need to find my ID. And I'm like, as I like find it and pick it up, I hear my cousin, her friend being like, you guys are on drugs. So I turn around and I'm like crying and sobbing and she's like, see, like your pupils are dilated, like you're irate right now, like you're like freaking out and stuff like that. And I'm like, I needed to find my ID. And I just keep saying it over and over again. I'm like, I need to find my ID. She's like, you have your ID. And I was like, I just found it on the floor. She was like, how'd you get in the club then? I'm like, I'm trying to explain it to her. And this bird brain bitch, literally supposed to be my fucking blood is my blood cousin, is supposed to be fucking family, bro. And she's immediately jumping to the idea that these random strangers that I met 3 times, that I told her that I did not know very well, that I plotted this entire thing and that I've been on drugs this entire time and that I wanted to get her in trouble. Instead of assuming, oh, my cousin had the mind to tell me that she didn't know these people very well. Maybe she's in a dangerous situation. Also, I did separate from her in the club and left her with a bunch of bitches she said she didn't know that well. And also, I had told her beforehand, I don't know these people that well, but because we're cousins, then we can stick together if anything weird happens. Like I literally, because I'm so big on girl code and I'm so big, I thought I was being smart by going out with a family member. So I was like, okay, I'll have one person, like we can keep each other safe in case people are weird, in case shit gets weird. And she was driving also for that reason. So it's like, I was like, what the fuck? You're immediately assuming that I've plotted this entire thing, that I knew exactly what was going on, that I willfully like brought this into your car, which obviously would like give you problems if we were to be pulled over. Like all of these different things. I'm like, are you serious? So I'm like trying to explain it to her, but her friend that she literally had just met, basically is like, keeps interjecting and being like, no, like I knew, like basically saying like I knew since the car essentially, and like you guys were being weird and stuff. And I was like, they must have gotten it from the bathroom, like trying to explain the situation, and these bird brain bitches wouldn't let me speak. And then I started yelling over them because I'm drunk and I'm now on, now I am on one now. But basically I was getting so frustrated because I'm like, I'm telling the fucking truth, dog, and you are my cousin. If you are some random bitch, okay, whatever, think whatever the fuck you want, but you are my fucking cousin and you are automatically assuming that I'm doing this. You are the biggest bird on the fucking planet. God. So essentially like she's assuming these things, and I'm like, I am now getting upset. And so I'm like, this is not what happened. Would you just let me talk? And then also these two bird brain motherfuckers, Twinkie and Snow, are also not helping. Like, no, we didn't do that. Like, who the are you? Like, also like making it worse. And I basically was like, I kept on telling them like, stop talking. Can you shut the fuck up? So I'm like yelling at them, and I'm yelling at them because I'm like, this is not what's happening right now. So they get in the car and they leave, my cousin and her friend. So she leaves me with these two, and I'm like, oh my God. So I go sit down outside the club, again, trying to get the away from them. And they're like, man, that bitch. Like, no, like, I just want to go home. And they're like, no, come on, we don't have to go home. Like, let's go back in. You have your ID now. Like, we can get an Uber. And I was like, no, I really want to go home. I want to go home. And they're like, yeah, but you're not okay to be out here by yourself. Like, you need to stay with us. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be here. Like, please, I don't want to be here. And they were like, well, and so I'm like, I'm going to call my best friend. And they were like, no. And they grabbed my phone again. Twinkie grabs my phone and was like, no, you're going to be fine. You got to stay with us. It literally felt like they knew, like they thought I was going to go call the fucking police or something on them as soon as I walked away. I'm a snitch in some regard, but I'm not about to call the fucking cops on you, bitch. I just want you to leave me the fuck alone. So I'm like, not even able to call my best friend to come pick me up. And I'm like, holy shit. So I'm like, basically, I'm like, no, the fawn response was correct. I knew that I needed to respond that way for a reason because they are manipulating the situation. And so I need to placate this. I need to play this smart. So I was like, I won't tell anyone. And they're like, you won't tell anyone what? Like, what do you mean? Like, you did that? Like, what do you mean? And I was like, nothing. Like, I just, everything's chill. I just really want to go home. I'm not going to say anything. Like, can we please just like forget this night ever happened? I just really want to go home. Like, I just want to go home. And they're like, yeah, but you're not safe to go home. Like, if you get in with a random Uber, I'm like, I told you I'm going to call my best friend. They're like, yeah, but she's probably sleeping. Like, making up all, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Trying to get me to go back inside of the club, like real bad. And I'm like, no. And then there's this one girl, she like came up to me in the middle of me having this meltdown and was like, hey, do you like girls? And like asked for my Instagram. And that's actually it was perfect timing because Twinkie was holding my phone. So I like got my phone back because of that. She was like immediately texted and called my best friend, and there was nothing they could do about it at that point. And I was like, I kind of got up and like started to move away from them, and there was now more people kind of coming out. So they didn't like just like openly like grab my phone again. But I was like, no, I'm going to go get picked up. Like, I'm going to get picked up. And so I ended up getting picked up by my best friend. She took me home. I had a huge cry session. I called my brother and was like, ah. And then my sister too, because she's close to the bird brain. And basically was like, hey, I know that she's going to tell you about this, but I just wanted to let you know like the actual story because I would never do that like willingly, essentially. I thought I had blocked my cousin because I never wanted to see or speak to her again. Next morning, I had gotten a long text message from my cousin where she basically was like, hey, I'm so sorry I left you. Like, I had no idea that what those bitches did to you. I'm assuming my sister had told her the story that I told my sister, and basically was like, if I had known, I would have run those bitches over. But she essentially was like, but you should have told me, and like you had literally gone back into the club twice and like said you were fine, and basically gave me a half-ass not real fucking taking accountability apology, which, like my last episode, take accountability. And so I was like, nah, I'm not going for that, because even though I was extremely inebriated, I know I didn't go back into the club twice because I lost my fucking ID, you stupid bitch. So I went into the club one singular time. She was trying to make it seem like she didn't know that I had actually lost my ID because I had gotten into the club twice. And it was in the text message. I might have screenshots still if it's been a while, and I also don't like to hold on to things like that because if I see it again, it makes me all sorts of fucking angry all over again. So I don't know if I have screenshots, but if I do, I'll insert them. But basically, she was trying to make it seem like she was trying to manipulate the situation to make it seem like she didn't really know what was going, she didn't realize how fucked up she was for not making sure that I was safe, and that she wanted to cover up the fact that she just automatically assumed that I was on some trifling type of shit, instead of being a decent human being and making sure your blood relative is okay before assuming that I'm just some fiend that brought these fiends into your car. Like, no. And so she was trying to make it seem like I had come back into the club, and I basically responded and was like, I thought I blocked you. I wasn't even that rude, to my knowledge at this point. I just was like, I thought I blocked you but I had like her old contact with just her email in it from when we were kids. So like I didn't have a phone at the time, so I would just save contacts in like our family iPod. But like I had the iCloud still. So I had blocked the contact of hers that only had her fucking email. But I just said, I thought I had blocked you. And I basically was like, look, I don't know, it really made me upset that you're lying, because I did not go back into the club twice and you were far less inebriated than I was. And I tried to tell you multiple times that I had lost my ID and you just chose not to believe me. The only reason why I was able to get in the club the first time was because Snow finessed the security guards and got me in the first time, the first and only time. And I had come back. The reason why I went back out to the car is because of what happened in the bathroom. I felt unsafe. You were nowhere to be found, and I wanted to find my ID so I could leave, because if you were okay with ditching me, I was just going to text you and be like, yo, these bitches are weird, we need to leave, or I need to catch an Uber home. But you were not paying attention and you were nowhere to be found, and I went and got my ID from the ground by your car, and as soon as I picked it up, you come over there accusing me of shit that I didn't do willingly, and basically we're trying to make it seem like, oh, you have your ID already, so you're lying about that. So now you're trying to lie and make it seem like, oh, I entered multiple times and that's why you thought that I had my ID, surely. And I know it's not what happened, because of the reason why I remember that night so well. I believe it is because I lost my ID, and I'm really weird about my shit. I have like a triple check system. If I'm not able to enjoy my night, I am not one of those bitches that's like, oh, I lost my keys, oh, I lost my wallet, oh, it's okay, I'll get it back. I'm not carefree like that. I need to find that bitch, or I need to report to the bank that it's stolen, or the IRS. I'm not able to have a good night. I want to go home, actually. I want to spend hours looking for it, and if I can't find it, I'm going home, because I'm not staying out and having a good time. My shit's gone. So and that's the only reason why I feel like I just remember it so that part of the night so vividly, that we go in once because it's being finessed that I got in one singular time without my ID. And then I leave from that traumatic event that just occurred to me in the bathroom, and I pick up my ID, and then you're out there. So I know for a fact I literally only went in one time. And so you're out here trying to make it seem like it's something that it's not. Okay. So I basically was like, hey, you're lying. You're not taking full accountability. That's not cool. I don't know if I was maybe meaner than how I'm saying it now. I'm sure it probably came across quite passive aggressive over text, but I basically was like, I don't want to speak to you. And so she basically responded and was like, that whole fake ass apology. It's like when people talk about, I definitely understand what people mean by like the Karen type of white women that will like play in your face and like pretend to be so like docile, and I don't mean anything by that like at all. And I grew up with a bunch of bitches like that in high school, and as soon as you call them out, it's literally like they go from like Dumbo to deadpan, I'm Regina George and I'm gonna cut you. And it's like, so yeah, that I was able to see through your fake bullshit. I call it out, and now you're in your feelings about it. So I called it out, and she basically like was like, man, you're insane, just like your mom. Like you're insane. You're insane. Just saying a bunch of rancid shit where she's like, that's why you're on antipsychotics, which I was not, but she was. I saw that shit on the counter, bitch. You had like 8 prescriptions. But she was like trying to make fun of my mom essentially, because my mom did struggle with mental issues, and she was like, you're insane, like you need to be hospitalized, and like your mom, you need help just as much as your mom needs help. She's bipolar, mind you, so it's like pot calling the kettle black, bro. We are the apple does not fall far from the tree. It's just that my dad's side gave me a backbone, some honesty, and taught me how to take accountability. So clearly, again, apple didn't fall far from the tree. So she's just like saying a bunch of irate shit. So I don't play that, and I basically was like, I'm literally gonna pull up on you. Where the fuck are you? But she blocked me. So I called her a million times from my best friend's phone, from my other friend's phone, and I basically was like, yo, I said some crazy shit. She would say things like, well, I'll just make my dad get it because daddy gets me whatever I want. Basically was like, you're Alabama family. You guys are probably fucking each other. Like I was saying crazy shit, but like, don't bring me there because I will take it there. And I basically was like, come on, I need to fight you. Like, I need that. Where are you? And I basically, so she like blocked all of those numbers. So I called her dad. You guys are just a family full of bitches. And so after that, I get a call after that from the sheriff's department because this girl was like working for the national park out in the same area that the beach house was in, and she wanted to be a ranger super bad, and like was a huge pick-me. And so she like had her like ranger friend call me. Still, they're technically police still, but like they basically were like, hey, I got this complaint, like, oh yeah, because I had called her, I had left a message, and also I think told her dad, like, hey, if I see you at any family functions, you need to run because I'm going to put my hands on you, and like, don't ever let me see your face again. I better not see your face again, bitch. But basically, like, I told her that because I'm serious. I want that. Said that. So basically they were like, hey, I guess that's not technically illegal because there was no like physical imminent threat. Like if I was saying that to her in person or if I had a weapon, then it would be an imminent threat. But they basically, it's against the law. If someone blocks you, like you can't use other methods of contacting them because it's harassment. He basically was just like, stop harassing her. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I already blocked everyone anyways. I got my 2 cents in. But yeah, that bitch called the cops on me after she was a horrible fucking family member with absolutely no loyalty. She left me in the club. Didn't realize this story was gonna be so long. I thought it was gonna be like a short little story. I feel like I could have probably dragged it out into 2 parts, low-key, but I'm not doing that shit. And it actually gave me a good idea for at least 2 or 3 more stories. So maybe I can make this a Storytime channel. Who knows? I'd still like to keep on doing serious topics, but I might come in and drop the mess sprinkled about, you know. We all a little bit crazy out here. So, and yeah, if you guys like this story, go ahead and look at my other videos. I got some stuff you can sift through. I'm trying to post way more consistently throughout the week, and I really appreciate you guys for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'm gonna leave all my socials linked down below. Bye.